Welcome back to Life's a Bitch, Get a Helmet. This is Fry. So, I'm taking this course for my new job. It's a college course, and I'm enjoying it. I have come to find out now that I have matured and grown as an adult. You remember when you used to be a kid? I wish I were grown up. And then you become one. And the ones that stay kids still use the term grown up. And the ones that grow use the word adult. Yeah. Anyways. So I've come to find that I really enjoy this course. And I'm motivated to go back and start school for college. It's important to me that I be a role model for my kids. And a goal I have is to graduate with a bachelor's. And I would like to get a master's. I'm playing with the idea of PhD. I don't know yet. We'll see. One step at a time. Anyways, so I'm taking this course. The main topic is critical thinking. And the point of the course is to be able to use it in both work life and personal life. Well, I've gotten to a point where we are talking about thinking traps. Do you guys know what those are? Thinking traps? I didn't. But I have come to find out that thinking traps and myself have a very deep history. Do you know how many thinking traps there are? You may or may not. I didn't. There's 6, by the way. But until this course, I knew I was doing these, but I didn't know there was terminology for them. So come to find out, there's terminology for the thinking traps I was in. And I was just dumbfounded that I was caught in these. The 6 thinking traps that I got to learn about: jumping to conclusions, mind reading, me, them, always, and everything. I mean, the titles kind of give an idea of what they're about, but I didn't realize it's so strange to have gone through the majority of these and realize I've never seen it in black and white on paper. I've never seen it reflect me like this did. And it's just strange. The definition of jumping to conclusions: when you are certain about a situation despite having little to no evidence to support it. Mind reading. The definition: assuming that you know what another person is thinking, or expecting another person to know what you were thinking. There was an eye roll there. You can't see it, but I totally did an eye roll. The definition of me. Not what you think. This is negative thought processes, okay? Believing I am the sole cause of every problem I encounter. Whew, that one hits home for me. Them. The definition I was given. Believing that other people or circumstances are the sole cause of every problem you encounter. The definition of always. Believing that negative events are unchangeable and that you have little to no control over them. And the last one, everything, everything, everything. The definition: believing that you can judge one's worth of character based on a singular event, or believing that what caused the problem is going to negatively affect many aspects of your life. Ooh, I have most certainly hit all of them, some more than most. The ones I know I have been in is me. Always, always, always. Everything, everything, everything. In my personal life, it was jumping to conclusions and mind reading. I am assuming I was at some point in the thought process or thinking trap of them. I'm sure as a kid, I definitely had that thought process. I've also come to find that if you are surrounded by negative people who themselves are in that thinking trap of them, don't take accountability of themselves and their actions and whatever situation happened, you can get caught up in it and not even realize it. Let me give a quick shout out to Stella Blues Vapors. They have been my go-to vape shop for years now. I've made stops at other vape shops. No offense to them. My home is Stella's. So if you need equipment, you need some tanks, you broke your glass, burnt your coil, or just need some really premium juice, head on down to Fenton to Stella Blues and tell them Fry sent you. So as far as jumping to conclusions, actually I believe I touched on that in the last episode, telling my inner voice to shut the fuck up. Jumping to conclusions. The example I will give you is I can't reach my spouse. I've been trying to reach him or her all day, and they're not responding. Well, if they're not responding, they must be cheating on me. They must be fooling around. What the hell are they doing? Why can't I reach them? And it just starts driving you crazy. And that's when the jealousy side kicks in. I hate to admit it, but I've lived in that. There's reasons behind that on both sides, and I take accountability of my own insecurities and thoughts, and that's a hard one to get out of, but that's for another episode. Another I have most certainly been in is mind reading. I have gone days having full-blown conversations with someone else in my head. Do you know how taxing that is? If you relate, you know. Like if you've caught yourself in this thinking trap, you know how draining this thought process is. Full-blown conversations because you know exactly what they're gonna say and how they're gonna respond. And every so often, you win that battle in your head because you've put up a preemptive strike intending to have this conversation, and you're overanalyzing, and you're thinking of every possible response that the other person's gonna give, and then by the time you get home, you don't have it because you wore the fuck out. You just wore yourself out for nothing. The fuck? I've had this conversation all day. I don't want to talk to them anymore. I've been talking to them all fucking day. No, you haven't. You've been in your head. I've been talking to them all day. Yes, in my head. But I've been talking to them all day. I'm done talking to them because they're not going to listen anymore. For me, that's how that thinking trap worked. Me. I believe that a small portion of this thinking trap should be utilized, but not overused. As a leader, it is your responsibility to accept downfalls of your team At which point, when they do good stuff, you let them shine. Oh, Fry, you and your team. No, all my team. It was all my team. They did it. They kicked ass. And then they do something wrong. It's my fault. But, and I overused. I got trapped. I definitely trapped myself in this thinking trap of me. Which, during my second deployment, in my opinion, I've grown since then. I allowed that to affect me more than it should have, and led to many wrong decisions because everything was wrong, and it just internally wrong decisions instead of one, yes, I take accountability, this was the mess up, and then turning around and having a discussion with those that were also involved. You live and you learn. But that's how it relates to me at the top of my head. There are other instances that I know I've got caught in this of my own free will, but I've definitely been trapped in it many times. And that example is just the first one that stands out. Always. Yeah. During my depression, which I go in and out of, but I've learned ways to cope and remind myself that I don't have to think this way. But there for a while, I always felt like something bad is going to happen. Or because these bad things happened. For me, always, and everything kind of grew together. Because I had a history in my head. My narrative was, I do some good stuff, but then I fuck this up, and I fuck this up, and I fuck this up. We make mistakes, that's the problem. We make mistakes, and we get caught in this thinking trap. Always. But I would mess something up, and there's nothing I can do about it. Bad things happen to me. There's nothing I can do about it. It's always gonna happen. That's not right. But in the moment, you can't. There's nothing you can tell yourself. There's nothing you can tell your inner voice when you're in that moment and you're all invested in that thought. If you don't catch it at the beginning, like you gotta nip it in the bud at the beginning. This shit always happens to me. Stop. Don't go there. This is one instance that you may or may not have control over. Everything. That one thing. I was supposed to do that one fucking thing, and I didn't do it. Fuck. I'm worthless. I'm a piece of shit. What the fuck am I doing here? Guess I'll never be good enough for my family, my work, whatever the hell I'm doing. We don't need to be in that thought process at all. Now do we? I don't give a damn. I'm gonna think this anyways because I'm just gonna sulk in my negativity. The last one, them. As I said earlier, I'm sure I did it as a kid. I know I've been caught up in the group of thinking, well, I did my part. I didn't mess up. I didn't do anything wrong. It's their fault. I know I've gotten caught up in that. I can't think of a specific time frame at the moment, but I know I have. I've totally been in all 6, definitely 5, but all 6 of these thinking traps. And I have gone rounds with myself. And these thinking traps are fatal. If you don't stop them, they're fatal. So, how do we avoid them? Seriously. How do we avoid getting caught on these thinking traps? Because they're dangerous. We don't need to be in these thinking traps. I've been caught up in these thinking traps so bad, consistently, weeks, months, years. I consider taking my own life. Then I get upset and, well, I don't want to take my life, but I could totally put myself in harm's way to where I wouldn't walk away. These are dangerous. Now, the course I'm taking is more aimed at keeping you from growing for the team, for yourself, your personal life. But it's focused around work with a touch of life. And that's just not... I realized these hit much deeper, and I was surprised. And luckily, they went over how to avoid them. Although at first, I'll be honest, I may have had to rewatch that one module, that one clip a couple times, because I was trying to understand. I've done that. I had to listen to it a couple times and rewatch a little video. You gotta make sure you fully understand it. So you watch it again. And finally it made sense. We have to understand, one, what the thinking traps are. Me, them. Always. Everything. Jumping to conclusions and mind reading. Am I doing that right now? Am I mind reading right now? Am I having a full-blown conversation in my own damn head with someone who's in my head, not even with me? Am I really doing this? Am I really allowing myself to jump to this conclusion? Where's my evidence? Do I have evidence? They're running around on me. Is it really my fault? Is it solely me? Or is it within my control? Did I have any part? Or was it all them? Do things really happen all the time, or do you just focus on the negative all the time? And just because I didn't pick up the trash on the floor or take the trash outside, is that really something to be upset about? Is that really going to ruin your whole day? No? Identify it. Ask the questions. Ask yourself. Is this really me? Once you start asking yourself those questions, you take a moment. You ask the questions. Because if you're in your head, if you know you've been thinking about this one fucking thing all fucking day, is this worth my time to sit and analyze, reanalyze, and analyze, and do it again and again. No. Okay, well, what do I gotta do? Stop. Hey, is this my fault? Did I have a hand in it? I did? Okay. What was my part? What was my portion? Damn. Okay. I'll take accountability. I messed this part up. Okay? I did mess this up. Hey, you. This is the part I was supposed to do. I messed it up. This is what we agreed on, and this is your part, and you messed that up. You have the conversations with yourself, with other people. You can do it professionally. If you have to have a conversation in your head to make sure that you don't blow up, okay. I think most service members, we fly off the handle a lot, right? We also get caught up in our own thoughts, at which point, because we're caught up in our own thoughts and then something else gets thrown into the mix, we blow up. And we don't want to blow up, but we blow up. And those of us that are growing have come to realize, hey, I'm not in the right mindset. I would like to speak with you when you have time, but I can't right now. That's growth. Accepting the fact that I know what I want to do, and then going completely opposite, not completely, finding a better route to approach the situation and getting out of the thinking trap. Because you're gonna stew in it all fucking day. Hey, I need time to consider what I want to say, but I know we need to talk. Find out what the trigger is. What made me fly off the handle like that? What got me into this me crap? Okay, so I'm the leader. It's my overall responsibility. Okay, how could we have done better? Write the shit out. Take notes. Physically take notes if you have to. Use your phone, use a pen and paper, whatever you got. Gather your thoughts, your ideas. Is that evidence? Or is that an assumption? Or is that just my opinion? Ask the critical questions to identify important information you missed. Because obviously you don't have enough information, which is why you're in one of these thinking traps. What am I missing? Why am I feeling this way? Why do I keep thinking about this? Why is it bugging me? Why? And take the time to consider the mental cue. Whatever mental cue, the word or phrase you say to yourself that reminds you what you need to do to get out of the thinking trap. Okay, how did this start? Hey, we don't need to be here, so let's stop this thought process. If you're jumping to a conclusion, slow down. What evidence do I have to prove or disprove my thought process? Mind reading? Take control. Speak up. Did I express myself? Did I ask for more information? Do I have all the information? Me. Get specific. Look outward. How did others and or circumstances contribute? Because there were obvious other factors. I can take accountability for my shit. But what other factors are there that I need to focus on? that I need to see because I am overwhelmed with this feeling that it's all my fault. What am I missing? Them. Look inward. Ask yourself, how did I contribute? What was my part? Take accountability for your portion of whatever situation and correct it. Always. You have control. You have control of asking what was changeable. What can I control? What could I have done better? Everything. Get specific. Okay, what's the specific behavior that explains the situation? What specific area of my life will be affected? Okay, so I'm running a little late. I know X, Y, and Z will happen. Is it really something I need to stress over? Or just kick myself in the ass, learn from, and move on? It sounds simple, I know. It kinda is. In the moment, it doesn't feel like it. But it is. Recognize that you're in one of these thinking traps. Stop. Shit, I've been mulling over this all fucking day, and it's lunchtime. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Okay. Do I really need to be sitting here mulling over this? Is there a reason? What's the cause? Why do I feel this way? And ask the questions. Ask yourself the questions that identify what the problem is. Once you know what the problem is, you can get out of the thinking trap. Okay, here's the problem. For most men, we are fixers. Okay, I'll speak for myself. Me, I'm a fixer. Always have been. 18 years in the maintenance field, plus, whatever I was doing to help dad growing up, so many more years than that. In the military, doing my best to counsel, mentor soldiers. I'm doing my best to help them. The problem is we don't know how to help ourselves. But we do. How do we help them? Turn that shit on yourself. Okay, so you have this problem. Say you are your own soldier, and they're coming to you with this. It's one way to look at it. Don't allow yourself to stay in the negative. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. As I said, these thinking traps, taking this course and going over these thinking traps was crazy to me, because I've never seen it in black and white and felt like it was just describing. Out of these 6, 5 of them for sure, I can think of a specific time that I've been caught in it, knowing full and well there's more than once I've been caught in, one or multiple. If you're sitting here going through one of these thought processes, one of these thinking traps, as it is called. Recognize it. Oh shit, I am in that. Okay, how do I get out of it? Is it my fault? Are there other factors that I should take into account? What information in it do I not have to support my thought? What evidence proves or disproves my thought? There's more information we need to help us, and we need to recognize we need it. If you don't have the information, you're stuck. Ask yourself the question, what am I missing? What am I missing? Because obviously, I must be, for me to be stuck in this one damn spot. I'm missing, and I need it. I need more information. And that's your cue. Oh shit, I'm missing information. Okay. Instead of being caught in the thinking trap, how about we think about what got me into the thinking trap? And like I said, if you have to, write the shit down. Write it down. Type it out. Record yourself. And go back and listen to it, which I did recently. It was interesting. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, for those that have. And always remember, life's a bitch. Get a helmet.